Welcome back to the channel for another video on Rise to War. Today we're going to be taking a look at special units and their locations to give you a hand finding them and claiming them so that you're able to start conscripting them into your army. So first we're going to take a look at Oathbreakers. These can be found in the Gondorian lands. As you can see here, you can find them in Langstrad. I think they can be found in Lambden as well, and I know up in Paths of the Dead you can find some of the Dunharrows. Their special abilities are ethereal, which makes them immune to physical damage, and they cannot be healed, but they are susceptible to focus damage. So things like burn, poison, and straight focus damage from commanders like Gandalf or Arwen work well. They also deal a little bit of damage to themselves as they inflict focus damage, and any wounded units die in battle. And you can see the conscription costs and time down here. Alright, next we're going to take a look at the Bearmen. One location you can find them is up in Eastern Arid Mithrin. If you're a dwarf or an elf, you have fairly early access. And we can take a look at their stats and abilities here. They shapeshift into a bear from round 4 on, cure a random debuff, and get a damage boost. They don't have a specific counter, but focus damage works well on these guys as well as it gets through some of their physical defense. The main location to find Bearmen is generally down around the central Mirkwood and East Bight areas. So elves and dwarves can also find them down there, as well as Rohan if they move out there early. We'll take a look at hobbits next. As you can see here, hobbits don't have great stats. They do improve the healing received by allied units, and more units become wounded at the end of a battle as opposed to die. They're not a very highly used unit, but they are available. You can get them in Kelduin Vale, as well as over in the western reaches of the map near the Shire. I'll show you that here. Next up, we're going to take a look at Ents. And this is a good example to show the siege damage required to take some of these camps. You need to make sure, once you take out the defenders, that you have the siege damage to actually take the tile. Ents are a pretty hardy unit. They take reduced poison damage, but greater damage from burn, and they share the protector skill from Swan Knights of Gondor. So they will take all damage for the first 3 rounds on behalf of their allies, and they get a big defense buff for those 3 rounds. Next, we'll head back up north and take a look at the Barrow Wights. These are evil only. You can see in the top left-hand corner of this portrait the races and factions that can recruit the units. Unfortunately, Barrow Wights are not a very good unit. They don't have the same ethereal skill that Oathbreakers do, so they're still susceptible to physical damage. Eagles are next, and they can be found up in Carrick. They have flying, so they receive less damage from melee units, but increased damage from ranged units. They do have the swoop ability, which means that their speed stat increases their damage dealt. Okay, next we are going to look at Mama Kills. These are a heavy siege unit. As you'll see here, they have 4,000 siege damage. They are considered a large unit, so the good factions can receive bonus damage against them if they use the right units. And they will attack all enemies and allies alike, unless you have Black Serpent at Respect 5. So generally, if you're going to go for Mama Kills, you will load up one commander with Mama Kills as a siege commander. They can be found down in the southern reaches of the map. And finally, we're going to look at Fell Beasts. These are the flying unit for the evil factions. They have the same flying ability that eagles do, as well as Vile Stench, which deals poison damage. I hope this video has helped you locate as well as claim some of these different field barracks, so you can start conscripting these special units into your army and giving yourself a little boost. If so, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next ones, and as always, good luck on the battlefield.